Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Stephanie and this is Lindy Stitches, where I talk about cross stitch. I design under the name Lindy Stitches. You can find my stuff at lindystitches.com. Today is a Saturday, so I have plenty of time to share a lot with you. Today I have what I've been working on. I have some fully finished projects that I was able to frame out of my pile of shame in the closet. I have some housekeeping. I want to talk a little tiny bit about StitchCon. I'm sure you are tired of StitchCon wrap-up videos. What else? Oh! I have like all the stuff that I want to show you in this bag. Just different stuff that I've picked up and etc. So let's get started. First of all, Michelle at Mitch Stitch explained how she likes to have something like behind people that she can look at while she's bored during the video. So Michelle, this is for you. I hope you appreciate that. Okay. I know a lot of people don't like clowns. So before I lose half of my subscribers, I'll take it down. Alright, let's get started. I'm going to try to be chill because my children told me that my voice sounds unnatural and weird when I record Flosstube videos, and they're probably right. I get really jittery and I'm sure it changes my voice. And I totally deserve all of their mocking because I used to make fun of my mother and how she could be in the middle of a fight and then the phone would ring and her voice would completely change. So, justice has been served. Let's get started. Just a little bit of housekeeping. Giveaway. I did my giveaway drawing and I contacted the two winners. Alita contacted me and I sent her package. Did she get it? I don't know. The second person who won was Christy Martin, who didn't respond to my query. So Christy, if you want to email me at steph@lindystitches.com, I'll get your spooky hanging head to you. Alright, if you would like to visit my trunk show, right now it is at Keepsakes in Cincinnati, Ohio. You can see it there until late-ish August when I'm going to go drive over and pick it up. And I'm going to let you know the dates of that because I know there's some Ohio Stitchers who would like to get together. So I'll let you know when I'm going over there. If you'd like to meet up, that would be awesome. Get a little stitch on. I'm planning on driving there and back in one day. It's a 3.5-hour drive for me, so the longer I can sit and chill and stitch, the more pleasant my day will be. Secondly, after Keepsakes, the next place you can find me is Needlework Galleria. I am exhibiting there and I hope that you're planning on coming to shop. It's gonna be so much fun. The third place. In October, I will be visiting Sassy Jack's. I will not have my trunk show with me, just me own self. I'll let you know the date of that, but I think that there's a Thursday night stitching group that meets there, and so I'll probably be there around the 17th, is that a Thursday? I don't know. That week. Sassy Jack's. So if you live in that area, hit me up. Alright, let's get to the fun stuff. Housekeeping is so boring. Let's talk about my brain just took a little mini vacation. Let's talk about StitchCon. I'm not going to talk extensively about this. To sum it up, I had a blast. I had an awesome time. I am super thankful for the opportunity to meet people in person that I've spent time with via Flosstube, and we have mutually enjoyed one another's company, but then to be able to just in real life be able to enjoy one another's company is amazing and incredible. So thankful for everybody who introduced themselves to me and gave me any segment of their time at StitchCon. I enjoyed talking to everyone. I didn't meet anyone I didn't like. It was awesome. I'm very thankful to Barbara and Stephanie, who welcomed my trunk show and were super gracious and kind to me. And Barbara especially went out of her way to welcome me and give me a little push along as a designer, and I'm really thankful to her. I think that she's an amazing woman. So, yeah, I thought I'd answer a few questions that I got repeatedly asked at StitchCon. People wonder and inquire about different things, and kind of the same subjects came up repeatedly, and so I thought I'd address them a little bit here. A lot of people wanted to ask about Nashville, not really in specific questions, but I think they wanted to just like mutually enjoy and celebrate my success at Nashville. If you're new to my channel, I exhibited at Nashville Needlework Market for the first time this March, and you can find the vlog for that here on my channel. But thank you to all of you who wanted to congratulate me and like give me a thumbs up. That everyone was so encouraging. The most encouraging thing I think about StitchCon and just people who I don't necessarily know wanting to talk about my designs with me was that I got so many positive comments about one of my newer releases, A Stitch for Sweet Freedom. The people wanted to talk about this one more than anything else, and I can't tell you how encouraging that was, because I took a risk as a designer making her not white, and I knew I was taking a risk. I did it anyway. I also released Uncle Sam's Rickshaw at the same time together. And it was no surprise to me. Of course, I love Uncle Sam's Rickshaw. I think it's funky and wonderful and cute. But it was no surprise to me that when I first released them, this one was selling way better than this one. And while they are both my babies and I love both of them, my heart is more in A Stitch for Sweet Freedom, and I wanted her to sell better than Uncle Sam, because I think she's more meaningful. Well, this is charming, funky, and cute. They're not like in the same genre. I wanted her to be embraced, and since StitchCon, you know what? She's catching up to Uncle Sam, and I'm so thankful, because you know what? The people that went out of their way to say thank you for releasing that, thank you for taking a risk, they were all white. So what does that tell me? That tells me that even if you're white, like me, you want to see more diversity in cross-stitch, and you want to embrace some risks from designers. And so that was so encouraging. So encouraging. And so I'm going to keep taking risks, and I can't promise you that every image of a person that I release will be in a diversity category, but I'm definitely feeling rewarded that I put my heart into this and went for it. So thank you. If you went out of your way to encourage me on that, which so many people did, I'm so encouraged. People wanted to ask about Fred, which is so funny and wonderful. Fred was our foster greyhound that I introduced a few videos ago. Fred actually got adopted shortly after I recorded that video. He was only with us for 2 weeks, and we enjoyed our time with him, and now he's in his forever home, being loved. We fostered one more hound after him, who was actually a Galgo from Spain. That's a Spanish greyhound. And if you want to be angry at the human race, you can look up what happens to Galgos in Spain, although I would not recommend it. It makes your blood boil. So he actually arrived at our house after having flown across the ocean and being transported across a state, and you can imagine what kind of emotional problems he was suffering. He lived with his tail between his legs for a good long time. He was so precious, and my camera cut out. So our Galgo was also not here for very long before he got adopted. Now we've been without a dog for a good month and a half or so, and I'm itching for another one. We've really enjoyed it. I will say that by week 2, I am the primary walker and caregiver. But you know what? Having one is really enjoyable, and it gets me out of the house. And anything that gets me out of the house is a good thing. People wanted to ask me about my family, and I'm really thankful to those of you who did that, because it shows that you care about me as a person, not just me as a needleworker or floss tuber. Yeah, I appreciate that. I don't like to talk about my family here on YouTube. I like to protect their privacy. And so I'm happy to answer those questions in person and give you the dish. But my family didn't choose to be talked about here on YouTube, where anyone can stumble across my videos. And so, yeah, you can catch glimpses of them on Facebook, but I like to protect their privacy. Alright, so that's my StitchCon wrap-up. If you were one of the people that I ate a meal with or spent more than 10 minutes with, thank you. I had so much fun, and I enjoyed every one of you. Alright, moving on to the fun stuff. So I'm going to start by showing you my 2 pieces that I recently got framed out of my pile of shame. I was able to find 2 frames at my framers. A lot of framers do this. They have so much scrap, and so they just make open backed frames in sometimes random wonky sizes, and they sell them for dirt cheap. And so that's another reason why I think you should go to your local framer. Here's how I finished Coffin Buzz. So this pattern is by Paulette Stewart of Plum Street Samplers. You can find this. It's one of her freebies on her website, her blog. And so you can go find this pattern and stitch it up. I stitched this on 32 count dark cobblestone Lugana, 2/2, and I really thought I could just use 1 skein, but I ended up needing 2. I used Fresh Wool by Color and Cotton. It's an ecru color, and it does have a teeny tiny bit of variegation in it, but I did end up running out of floss, and since I only had 1, I needed someone to bail me out with another skein. Ginger Gerald was able to do that for me. He sent me some extras, so thank you, Gerald. I found this frame, like I said, at my framers, and it was the right size, but it needed something. Like, it was, I don't know, it just looked really plain. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to put some lace in here. And so I actually ended up pinning 4 strips of lace around the edge. I made a little Instagram story video of showing you how I did that, and I'm going to enter it here. I'm having a freaking out joy attack over how perfect this is. So I told Lois at Lady Dot Creates that I want to put her dirty face lace on everything. I can't even take it. So now I want to put dirty face lace mats on everything, so it's not actually finished. I'll show you what I did. All I did was put the lace on and stick pins in the foam core. Ta-da! I suppose I could glue it, put some glue on it for more stability, but putting glue on my cross stitch doesn't make me feel good. I think the dirty face lace looks so good, as I'm sure I already said. I think this is perfect because it looks coffee stained. So I made a post a month ago or so about how much I love dirty face lace, and the next week this came in the mail from Lois, and I love it. I just, it's so neutral and wonderful and pretty and beat up looking, and I'm going to use all this. I don't know if Lois was kidding, but I'm actually going to use all this. Look at this. I should cut some off for a hairband. Yep. See? So, I think you should go buy some of this. She didn't pay me to say that, but she did send me this big wad of lace. Yep. I'm feeling it. Alright, so that's Coffin Buzz. My second fully finished object is Autumn Cat Sampler. I could not believe I found a frame for this one because it is a weird size. But how good does this look? Yeah, how good does this look? It looks amazing. I have a thing for gold frames. I really like gold frames. This one is really, really light gold. I don't even know if you would classify that as a gold, but it looks really nice. I did the non-reflective glass so I can hang this in a danger zone. And I love how it turned out. I stitched this on 32 count antique white. The pattern you can find at the Kooler Design Studio. Really beautiful. Is it jumping the gun if I hang this up now? It's not even August yet. Really pretty. Autumn Cat Sampler. I'm always a little bit sad when I show you guys a fully finished object because I'm like, you're never gonna see this again. I need to put some of my project sticker plates on the back of these, but I forgot. Look at this, guys. Oh, I'm having back problems. Look at this. Look at this box. I forgot how many stickers I ordered, like 2,000. These sell so well, like I can keep up. I can keep up, but I pack stickers a lot. These are my sticker plates. You stick them back on the backs of your framed finishes, and you write down the details. And they're in my Etsy shop. One more fully finished object to show you, and then I will show you my works in progress. I was able to finish 2 of these pin cushions. This is Stitch or Die by Heartstring Samplery, Bath Twist. This came out this market. It's so cute. It's so squishy. You finish it off with Toast Chenille from Lady Dot, and this is just me. I love the colors in this. This blue, I ended up adding, this was originally yellow, and I am not a yellow person, so I decided to switch it to this blue that has like this rusty variegation. I think it's something, it's Gentle Art Creek, something Creek. That's helpful. So the other one I left behind for my StitchCon hostess, Claire, who was so gracious to welcome a stranger into her home and give her a bed for StitchCon. I love this. My heart ended up being like ginormous though. I did the whole split the back and you fully finish the pillow without a turning edge, and then you carefully cut the back open to flip it right side out. And this is like a home decor fabric, and so it has a really loose weave. So when I did the flip, my hole got like really big. So that looks a little bit ridiculous, but I don't care. So here. All right, let's talk about what I've been working on since you last saw me. I'm making this video instead of getting one more finish because I'm really close to wrapping up my long dog sampler piece. It's from the book. I don't have the book. I do have a legitimate copy out of someone else's book, which I realize might be a crime in some states, but I won't tell you who sold me, who broke up their book and sold me a copy out of their book. The legitimate copy. I feel like I always have to defend myself. I need to put it on something. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Did you see what I have to finish? I went a little nuts on this one because when I got home from StitchCon, I gave Santa a few days for Christmas in July, and then I thought, you know, I wonder if I could finish this by my birthday, which is August 12th, because I started this last year on my birthday, and so I don't know, it became appealing to me to just get it done within a year. And when I came home from StitchCon, I had the top half done, and then I was kind of working my way over here. And I was like, you know what, I just want to finish this thing. And so I've been stitching on it relentlessly since then. And all I have is the end of this text and some back stitching along the bottom edge, and then I'm done. But I think it's so pretty. This is on hand-dyed fabrics by Stephanie in the color Abyss. It's 32 count linen, and I'm stitching it 2/2. And while this is a dark color, it's really not hard to stitch on. I'm stitching it with Ecru DMC, and I really like stitching with Ecru. I don't know, it's growing on me. I did the Coffin Buzz in an Ecru color. It's just nice that it's not blazing white. I mean, this would look nice if it was blazing white. I think it would look beautiful no matter what you did with it. And it's so pretty. And next time you see this, it will definitely be a finish. This is everything I hoped it'd be. Next project I will show you is Santa. I was stitching on this at StitchCon. I think the smartest thing I did for myself for that weekend was to do a bunch of outline stitching so that I didn't have to think, all I had to do was fill. And one section that I prepared for myself was this big old white beard. So before I left for Ohio, I just did the outline. And he has some like blue in his beard, so I did that as well. So all I had to do was fill it in. This is an old pamphlet by Dimensions. He's in the closet, let me get him out. Here's Santa. And he looks so much more interesting and engaging now that I gave him a face, because to be honest, I was feeling kind of meh about this project, partly due to my fabric. I was kind of trying to go off the beaten trail with the fabric, This is the same fabric that I did Coffin Buzz with, the dark cobblestone. I thought this fabric would look good to make all the white pop. And I think, I don't know what my hang up was with this piece, but I'm going forward with it. It also helped to put a little bit of back stitching in around that bunny. And we will proceed. Maybe I need to do the vegetables because honestly that's my favorite part, that he's holding a basket of vegetables. There's just not enough vegetables in Christmas stitching, you know. Next, I think the only other project that I've worked on is Best Ghoulfriends. There's like so many. Sandy in California, thank you for these bags. In California, apparently they have really cool Japanese stores where you can find awesome stuff like this for $1. People in California have everything. You should try living in Indiana where, you know, your selections are limited to the local Walmart and Joann's. Anyway. This is Best Ghoulfriends by Teresa Kogut. This is another project that I prepped Major Phil on for StitchCon. I outlined everything that I could. And you can see I didn't get a lot. I didn't get a lot accomplished. I outlined 3 skirts and got halfway down 1. Filling is no joke. Filling takes a long time, and mindless filling is not my cup of tea. However, when I travel, this will be a great project to pull out because mindless filling is super easy to do while you're having a conversation. I am just not good at being in an environment where I want to listen to people and interact with people and be stitching at the same time. I can't be looking at a chart and figuring things out. Like, my brain's just already on overload. So there we go. I did change the expression of the middle pumpkin. You can see, originally she's like, meh. Now that she's smiling, I feel like, you know, they're like sharing a secret. That's Best Ghoulfriends. That is all that I worked on since I saw you last, which means it's time to show you my bag of goodies. First up, I got this in the mail and I had a conniption. Diana at It Is Kismet sent me this tiny teeny pillow that is adorable with a thoughtful, lovely card and package, and it totally made my day. I love this so much. If you haven't seen this a bajillion times, Diana's giving away this pattern so that you can tell people you like them. It's amazing and lovely and wonderful, and if you would like this free pattern, you can go over to her Flosstube channel. I will link it down below. Thank you so much, Diana. I love this. It sits by my great white throne where I cross stitch, and I see it every day, and it's precious. I'm sure that was an annoying sound effect. Okay. All right. Things I've acquired. I sang about this in one of my Instagram stories. This is a new release from Mill Hill this year. It is called Fa La 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 Llamas. I love words so much, and I love word puns, and I love clever wording. You know, one of my projects is called Bag Ladies, and honestly, if it was not called Bag Ladies, I don't know that I would be stitching it because I just love clever wording. And when I saw this, and I saw that it was called Fa La 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 Llamas, shut the front door. So I've never done beading before, and I'm working on a massive chatelaine, and which is going to have a lot of beading on it. And I have tried finding another project that had beading that appealed to me so that I could practice and things before I start my chatelaine. And I am not afraid to just start beading for the first time on a chatelaine. It doesn't intimidate me, however other people will be like, oh, you need to practice. Maybe I'll do Fa La 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 Llamas. Next up, got this off Stash Unload. This has been on my wish list, and it was a couple bucks, and so I picked it up. This is a cat by Charles Wasaki. This one is called Tired Kitty, but I know different, I know Dimensions put this out. I think Creative Accents is an old Dimensions branch off. Yes, it is. But they've produced this several different ways and different times. I am someday going to do this because it's adorable. The cat is sleeping in the tree and the birds are making fun of him. I picked up off the freebie table at StitchCon another copy of this, which I actually bought, I think last year. It's got some really pretty little bird patterns. It is the Country Diary collection, and I bought it for the cover image, but it has other bird and nature-y scenes, so that's going to be a future giveaway, because I know that one of you would also enjoy it. Okay, this was the one thing that I kind of splurged on at StitchCon. That trunk showroom was out of this world insane. If you just like shopping and maybe you can't make it to Needlework Galleria or some other place where there's like a lot of needlework to choose from and a lot of different products to see, maybe you should just come to StitchCon, because Barbara had 15 trunk shows to show you. And you could also go to Keepsakes. Just saying. This is a fabric from Leslie at Under the Sea called Rosemerta, and this is the prettiest fabric I've seen in a long time. I don't know if you're gonna like it. I don't know if the color is gonna come across. It's the lightest pink with like tan modeling on it. This is a linen, and it's 25 count, I think. She had other counts still left there. She totally got pillaged. That's another thing. Like, everyone would love to see the fabric colors in person. Well, when you do see them in person, it's like a feeding frenzy. People went crazy. I thought this was so pretty. I don't know what I'm going to put on it. My preferred count is 32, but I really liked the modeling on this piece. Like, when you have options, then you suddenly get picky about the modeling. I don't know. It's just really pretty. So I think I'm going to stitch something like 1/1 on it because it's a big count. I think like a big monochromatic black piece. You hear what I'm saying? Chris at Craftin' Chris made me a project bag because she knows I like funky birds, and chickens definitely fit into that category. Thank you, Chris. And she made one of these little ort catchers. I don't know how you make these. It seems like a little miracle to me. What? I know. It's like magic. How does it hold itself up? I don't know. Thank you so much, Chris. And she gave me M&Ms, which I ate on the way home, even though they're kind of melty from being in my hot car. Not a problem. You just tip the bag up and let them cascade into your mouth. Alright, I ordered my first hank of silk. Feel like it happens to us all eventually. I saw someone do death by cross stitch and I couldn't believe how pretty it looked. I am not good at visualizing things, which seems kind of weird because I design cross stitch patterns, but I think I've talked about this before. The computer is my visualization tool, so I can see it in my head and I can rearrange it, change colors, no big deal. But if, for example, you gave me a pattern like Death by Cross Stitch and you gave me a color palette, and then it's hard for me to like project what it will look like and how it will go. And seeing this finish of Death by Cross Stitch made me want to do Death by Cross Stitch, because her project was my version of gorgeous. So this hank is PR 124. Whoa, it's not that bright. That looks fluorescent. I don't know why the camera is making it that bright. Yeah. So the color differences in this hank of silk are like way exaggerated by my phone. In reality, yeah, it has purple, teal, and navy blue in it. But when you stitch it up, it all comes across as like a dark blue. I can't even explain it because the camera is just... I don't see the camera enhancing my face, but it's going crazy for this hank of silk. Anyway, moving on. Okay, someone made this for me. Barbara on Instagram, the Nevada Stitcher, just came up and handed this to me. What? Like, this is little, but this like takes work. Thank you so much. I think this is adorable, and I'm going to make it into a scissor fob. Thanks, Barbara. People are crazy. They're crazy at StitchCon. They really are. Like, they literally just walk around handing things out to people. The generosity is, like, out of this world. Okay, I only have a couple things left in my bag that I really wanted to show. I have a lot of stuff, but overall. Okay, so I was at Fancy Works in Bloomington, Indiana, picking up my trunk show before StitchCon, and okay, you should never bring non-cross stitchers into a cross stitch shop. Period. Life rule. Because you will want to look at every single thing in the shop multiple times, and they will stand around hovering, waiting for you to want to leave, and it's just not pleasant. But I did take my daughter and my mother, and they helped me pick it up, and they're like, hey, want to go now? And I'm like, no. Want to go across the parking lot and get yourself a milkshake? Because I'm going to be a while. So that's what happened, and I got to chat with the shop owner and look around, and I came across this night music. And I was like, I love that. Where's the pattern? And she had recently acquired a bunch of models from another shop that was closing. and so she wasn't sure about the pattern. She did some searching for me. I shopped while she looked. I tried Googling to try to figure out what it was. Long story short, she just gave me the model. She's like, you know what? There's no point if I can't find the pattern. Just take it. I'm like, what? No. No, just take it. And she shoved it in my bag. And how cute is it? It's hilarious. I love it. So I actually did a bunch of searching. I have this obsessive problem, okay? I'm just going to be frank with you. I don't know what it is, but if there's a pattern and I can't figure out what it is, it's almost like an obsession for me to like figure it out. So I came home with this model, which she graciously just threw at me. And I did figure out where it was from after wasting my life Googling. This is from an issue of Just Cross Stitch. It's a Halloween issue. I think it's 2016. It's the one with the big cat face on the cover. I don't have a copy of that, and I kind of didn't want to splurge for it. If anyone has that copy, I would love to know who designed this, because I think it's amazing. And that's the only place I can find the pattern. I don't think it was re-released. And so, if you could look it up for me and let me know, we can be friends. Night music. Adorbs. A few more things to discuss, and then we will wrap it up. My last video, I asked for your feedback, and thank you so much for going out of your way to make a comment. I know it's not easy. You have to be intentional about writing a comment, and I got a lot of feedback, so thank you. Regarding instant frame or patterns, apparently language is a limited resource and I'm running out of it. I asked you if you were turned on when a pattern is made to fit in a standard size frame, if that was something you paid attention to before you start a project or not. I would say 80% of you said yes, I do pay attention to it, and I don't like going to get custom framing. And I was surprised that most of you think like that. I think like that. Sometimes you just think you're weird. Apparently I'm not weird. A lot of you look at what size it's going to end up, and can I frame it? What am I going to do with it? And you like it when something is made to fit in a standard size frame. The other 20% of you said, if I like it, I stitch it and I don't care. And that's wonderful. The other thing was my Picture This Plus color swatch video. I offered to show you my the colors that I have swatches of from Picture This Plus, and I think one person said, don't bother cameras, screens, there's no point, it's not going to be helpful. The rest of you were like, yes please, yes please. I went to organize that video. It is going to take a little bit of prep on my part. It's not going to be crazy or anything, but I think I have like 25 colors, at least a swatch. Some of them are bigger pieces, some of them are just, leftovers from what I've used. But I do have around 25 colors. So then I went to Marilyn's website to say, okay, well, how many total colors does she have? She has like 140 colors. So I kind of felt a little like, what is the point? I only have, what is that? That's only a little over 10% of the colors. However, I know it would still be useful. And as I acquire more, as I plan on doing, I can update the video year by year, right? I did email Marilyn and say, hey, that coloring? Can I borrow that? Because she does have a swatch coloring. She basically emailed me back and said, yeah, you and 100 other 50 people want that, and I only have one, so no. Which I understand. I didn't cry about it for too long. Long story short, I will make a picture this plus color video. It will probably be in late August. Alright, the last thing is the poem. Now this is a thought-provoking poem, and I would like to hear your thoughts about it after you've heard it. Usually I try to read a happy poem that leaves you feeling all warm and gooey. This one, maybe you could think about a little bit. This is from Good Poems by Garrison Keillor. This is dedicated to Sarah because she loves Wendleberry. The poem is called The Vacation by Wendleberry. Once there was a man who filmed his vacation. He went flying down the river in his boat with his video camera to his eye, making a moving picture of the moving river upon which his sleek boat moved swiftly toward the end of his vacation. He showed his vacation to his camera, which pictured it, preserving it forever. The river, the trees, the sky, the light, the bow of his rushing boat, behind which he stood with his camera, preserving his vacation, even as he was having it, so that after he had had it, he would still have it. It would be there. With a flick of a switch, there it would be. But he would not be in it. He would never be in it. Think about it. What do you think? Honestly, I think about that poem a lot. I think about that poem whenever someone is obviously like experiencing something and their phone is between them and the experience. What do you think? Does having your phone in between you and what you're trying to record something so that obviously you can watch it and enjoy it later, I think it diminishes like fully enjoying it then as you're supposed to be experiencing it. What do you think? Tell me your thoughts. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you for spending time with me. Hopefully it will not be too long before you see me again. I filmed a lacing video and it's not a tutorial. You just can watch me lace Autumn Cat Sampler. I make some mistakes. I get hungry and cranky and you can watch that later. Happy summer, happy stitching. You can catch me on Instagram and Facebook under Lindy Stitches. See you later, friends. Bye.